Welcome to Gold Coast Insider, where we bring you business insights, stories, opportunities and forecasts from movers and shakers across the Gold Coast. I'm your host, Estelle Rodiguero. I'm CEO of Regional Development Australia Gold Coast. My guest today is Karen Dickinson. Karen is the General Manager for TAFE Queensland on the Gold Coast, a position she's held for nearly 7 years. Karen is passionate about sustainability and believes that as a vocational education provider, we need to build holistic knowledge and skills that equip students to manage in the new sustainability-focused world. Karen developed the concept for the new Robina campus, which we'll discuss a bit later, which opened in 2022 and has won several international awards for its commitment to sustainability. Karen has a Master's in Health Services Management, Graduate Diploma in Occupational Health and Safety, and a Bachelor of Health Science in Nursing. Welcome, Karen, and it's great to talk to you today.
Yeah, thanks, Estelle. Nice to be here.
All right, I'm going to start with a really easy question. What brought you to the Gold Coast?
The job. So nearly 7 years ago, I applied for the General Manager's position here with TAFE Queensland on the Gold Coast and fortunately was successful. I had been here on holidays and so I had a sense of what the Gold Coast was like and so I was rather excited when this opportunity came up. So that's how I ended up here.
So where did you come from originally, Karen?
So from Perth in Western Australia.
Oh, excellent. Wow. Okay. Karen, you've mentioned that a lot of people come to the Gold Coast specifically to study. Why do students choose to come here to study on the Gold Coast?
I think it's a very attractive place for students to come and study, and our student numbers certainly reflect that. Over the last half a dozen years, we've had a large number of students coming to study at vocational training institutes, but also at our universities. We've all gone through, I think, solid growth. We had a bit of a hiatus during COVID, but all of the TAFEs and vocational training providers and universities are making a recovery now, and we have good student numbers, international student numbers coming to study on the Gold Coast. I think they love the balance of lifestyle, being close to the beaches, enjoying the mountains. They love the community. I think the Gold Coast is a very welcoming community, and they love the educational institutions. We have a lot to choose from, and we have a very high standard. So I think they have the best of both worlds coming to study here on the Gold Coast.
Certainly, and we're so close to Brisbane. We're so close to a capital city, and so I think that helps as well. But
For sure.
I'm a bit curious. So, what courses do they study?
I'll speak largely for TAFE Queensland. So we have a lot of students that are coming here to study commercial cookery, carpentry, nursing, and automotive and marine construction. So they're probably the big courses that international students come to study here.
Right. So having a skilled workforce who is adaptive to the changing job requirements on the Gold Coast, it's vital to our continued growth of our industry and businesses. You mentioned marine, which is a rapidly growing industry. Our biomedicine is a rapidly growing industry. And TAFEs have changed a lot over the years. They appear to be more agile to respond to the changes of the workforce needs. How have you seen those? What are those trends and changes that have happened?
Look, I think there are a lot of changes occurring at the moment, and I think there is a big focus at the moment in terms of growing, IT skills, AI, blockchain, cybersecurity. We offer all those courses up at Coomera Creative, and they have really grown quite dramatically in the last couple of years. There's a massive interest in cybersecurity, not surprisingly, with all that's happened in the last year in terms of cyber breaches. There's, organisations are really wanting to have someone who can come in who's got those skills to manage, cybersecurity in an organisation. So massive demand for that. Blockchain's another. We're the only institute in the state that's offering that qualifications, so it's a great qualification to do. Some of the other areas that are growing at the moment are things like leadership and management and project management. And so I think a lot of people are upskilling. They may have a Certificate 3, or they may have no qualifications, but a lot of people are upskilling to the next level. And many of them want to go on to university, so they see this as a platform, get my diploma, then go potentially onto university. But we also have ongoing massive demand for courses, like in nursing and aged care. We cannot meet that demand. We have thousands of students that come to study annually in the nursing program alone. It's massively popular, as is aged care, community services, and we need to train every single one of them for the jobs that exist on the Gold Coast at the moment. The other area is in the trades, particularly construction and electricians. We cannot train enough students in those areas, so great areas to study in. The other areas that are also very strong at the moment are early childhood, very, very popular, as is commercial cookery, so to become a chef. So a lot of demand on the Gold Coast post-COVID to train up people as a chef. So they're probably the big areas. And the other sort of emerging area is around sustainability. So it's just that focus on building those eco skills as part of your job. So if you're an electrician, construction, you're starting to think about, well, what does that look like from an eco-friendly perspective? The same for commercial cookery or AI, IT, just that slight change to start looking at what does the green skilling look like in this industry.
I'd like to delve into that sustainability. Yeah, no, that's good. That sustainability piece. But just as you were talking, two questions came to mind. One is, do you have very many people that look at more mature people that will come back and look at upskilling or reskilling? Is that a market here as well, or a need?
Absolutely. Yes. No, I would certainly be encouraging anyone that is, an older student to come back and study. And we do. We have a lot of students who have, the children are starting to get a little older. They're starting to think about what their career options are, and they will come back and they will retrain. So it's fairly common, and particularly a lot of women, particularly choosing in their 30s and 40s to come back and to study aged care or to study nursing. That's quite a common choice. Yeah.
Excellent. So the other thing that raised my attention is that you have different areas of your TAFE colleges situated around the Gold Coast, which deliver very, very selective different sectors. Can you talk us through that a little bit? Can you give us a bit of a broad spectrum on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have 6 campuses, and they all have a different focus. So if we start at Coomera Marine, that is just obviously focusing on marine construction, marine mechanics. Then right next door we have Coomera Creative, and it does interior design, graphic design, cybersecurity, screen and media, music. So it's more the creative industries, and it's only taught from that campus. Then you move down to Ashmore, and it's a very large campus, and it focuses on the trades. So all of the trades are offered out of there. Our most popular trade courses being electrical, carpentry, plumbing, but we've got the wet trades, horticulture, landscaping. So that's the trades. Down to Robina, and it does health and wellbeing, beauty, hairdressing, early childhood, English language studies, hospitality. So it does a whole variety, sport and rec. And then we move to Southport, which focuses on the health services side of things. So health, community services, youth, nursing. Yeah. So and we've got a small little campus down at Coolangatta, which is largely for English language studies.
Now, Karen, sustainability underpins a majority of the jobs in the future. And your new eco-friendly TAFE campus on the Gold Coast is set to revolutionise the way training providers deliver education, putting sustainability at its core, from the design of the campus to its everyday operation to the curriculum. Now, again, this is absolutely incredible. So can you tell us a little bit about how that came about, how it's evolving, and what's being adopted by the people and the students?
Yes, I guess 3 or 4 years ago, we had an opportunity. We had a new campus being built, and we wanted to do something that was very different. And we were looking ahead, trying to find what were the skills that students were going to need, by 2025. And largely what was coming through in the literature is students absolutely need to understand more about sustainability. They need to have eco-friendly practices embedded in everything they do. So we created a campus that is 100% committed to sustainability, and we embed sustainability not only in the curriculum, but in the fit out, in our procurement processes, in our general operations, in student life, and the whole culture of the place. So when it comes to the 4 eco-friendly venues that we have, so one's a cafe, one's a restaurant, and one's an event space. And I'll just by way of example, in the restaurant and in the cafe, we have recycling, waste management, everything is biodegradable, compostable. We have very limited plastic. We have keep cups. We have organic composters, increased healthy food options. We really focus on interacting with the public, so we make sure we use local suppliers, and then we returned a lot of our organic waste back to a lot of the suppliers that we work with.
Yeah.
So we're ever so mindful of sustainability and being eco-friendly or in every decision that we make. So it is, and the students that clearly come to study in those venues, really, it's just part and parcel of how you do business. It's not an add-on. It's just embedded in what we do. So they really do learn the skills that are required into the future. And I can say that a lot of the big organisations, hotels on the Gold Coast, absolutely have a sustainability focus, and this is giving them skills they need to be able to work here on the Gold Coast.
So sustainability is such a broad agenda, though, isn't it? And and whenever we talk about sustainability, we think naturally, or most of us do, about environment, right? But it's more than just environmental, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And whilst the focus of sustainability is largely on the environmental factors, for us it is much broader than that. We've adopted the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. There's 17 of those, and they focus on a broad range of issues, from everything from gender inequity through to poverty, through to addressing climate change, consumption. So production and consumption. So we try to be very holistic in terms of how we look at sustainability. For us, also, that whole supply chain is really important, making sure that we know where every product that we use has come from. And so hence our commitment to working with local producers, local suppliers, because we know that it's local as opposed to bringing things from offshore.
Right. And I guess, there's going to be jobs that we've never ever heard of coming up in this whole sustainability, isn't there? And I was thinking the other day, we've got electric cars. So now electric cars are not only going to take a mechanic to be able to work on it, it's going to have to take an electrician to work on it as well. So there must be all these new jobs that we haven't even dreamt of with this, even in that type of sustainability in the cars that we're going to have to train up on to be one step ahead of the curves.
That's right. Well, we have with a lot of the automotive area at the moment, a lot of the teachers are going through electric vehicle skill sets, so that they can be, mechanics, but they also can teach how to manage your electric vehicle as well. So, I think there's a foundation that wherever people are at the moment, they can build a skill set, they can build, other qualifications that can enable them to work in other areas. So, we're seeing a lot of that in the creative area, with our interior designers. I know they're doing a lot of work at the moment to upskill so that they have a broader eco-friendly sort of approach. The same in horticulture. There's a greater focus on, urban farming and considering sustainability in all of the courses, not just as a standalone, but really integrating the principles of sustainability in all the existing courses.
So it's embedded into the courses as you undertake them. Oh,
Yeah. I mean, everyone's going to be impacted as we move towards an environment that's more carbon neutral, and we're having to, deliver things in a very different way. Every industry will be impacted to some degree.
absolutely. And you've only got to take an example that coming into the 2032 Olympics,
Yeah.
they're looking at making the Olympics carbon neutral. And I mean,
Yeah.
if anyone wants to tender for that, or tender for the Olympics or whatever they need to do, they need to give an assurance that they have those sustainability practices in their models moving forward.
Yeah. Sure.
But one of our fastest growing sectors is the healthcare, and the Australian government have just released the 6th intergenerational report, which provided insight into the economic and social trends predicted to shape our future, the nation's future and influence. Now, this report forecasted a 50% growth in population to 40.5 million people in the next 40 years, with an increase in the older demographics within our community. Now, they state that the number of people aged over 85 will triple, and those aged 65 and over will likely double. So investment in the care economy and the health and aged care must be just front and forward on this one. How is TAFE addressing those skills requirements facing out that future?
It's a massive change, isn't it? That whole trying to build that capability, build that workforce for the future. And I guess we're trying to recruit as much as possible students into all of those areas, all those healthcare areas that you mentioned. And I just it's really interesting, because I think that even at the moment there's just, it's really challenging because there's so many different jobs that people can go to. I think post-COVID, not everyone is wanting to work in the healthcare sector, so it does pose some challenges for us attracting people and making it attractive to study in healthcare or to study in nursing. So we certainly have a great program at Southport, and it's very much hands-on, and focuses not only on building skills, but really focuses on creating nurses that can have great conversations with patients. And I think the whole communications piece is an additional focus for us, in addition to the technical skills that the health professional would need to develop.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's jump on to, what do you see as the challenges moving forward? So having said that about the health sector, I'm sure that's one, but what are the challenges overall broadly that you see for the Gold Coast?
In the training,
Yeah.
I think the whole developing and retaining staff is really critical to most organisations. There is so much change happening in, particularly in the digital space. We just cannot, we have to provide lots of, skill sets, short training, and continue to support our staff have those sort of more contemporary skills. But also in retaining staff, it's a very competitive market. So if you can offer professional development and you can, say, focus on developing staff, I think it's going to be a strong retention factor. So that's a really important piece, I think, for the Gold Coast. So I think developing and retaining staff in an organisation is going to be absolutely critical into the future. It's a great problem for a lot of organisations on the Gold Coast at the moment. So, I think really focusing on an individual and their career path journey is important, providing lots of professional development opportunities. I think, accommodation is also a big issue, particularly in the training space for our students. Another area would be, I think a lot of organisations are just struggling to find people because unemployment is so low on the Gold Coast. It's everyone who can work is working, so it's really hard to find the personnel that you need. And then I think, finally, the greatest change will be around the impacts of climate change, and we need to move swiftly to make sure that we're preserving our beaches and our forests. And And I think we're on a journey here and we're making good progress, but it is a challenge for us on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, very good. And I absolutely agree with you on that one. So therefore, what do you see as the opportunities for the Gold Coast?
Well, I think there are some great jobs on the Gold Coast. We have quite a diverse job market. So we know that health is really popular, lots of jobs in health, lots of jobs in construction, but we have a great emerging market in that creative space. So lots of jobs in screen and media, IT, cybersecurity. So I think that's all very exciting. And I think the Gold Coast does a great job at attracting people to live here. So I think that I would continue to leverage the beautiful environment that we live in and encourage people to come here and to just enjoy what the Gold Coast has to offer.
Absolutely. Look, and just while I'm talking to you, the 2023 TAFE Queensland Staff Awards was on last weekend, I think, Karen, was it?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I want to congratulate the nominees and the winners. Like, I think there were quite a substantial amount from our Gold Coast, but it's really good to recognise that. And I know Simon Hislop, he's on my regional jobs committee, and he's an important part of that connection. And so congratulations to all of them, and yourself. Your team is absolutely kicking goals here and setting standards across Australia.
And we had a good night.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant to get that recognition and to realise that we have a really incredible workforce and really incredible trainers here that can move the industry forward. It's just amazing. So now I normally finish up by asking people, what is it personally about the Gold Coast that you love and you're passionate about and actually keeps you here? And you're certainly passionate, because what you've done here on the Gold Coast with TAFE colleges is remarkable. We're doing Australian first. You're putting us on the map with your Robina TAFE campus. I mean, it's brilliant. So what is it about that keeps that passion for you?
I think, look, I moved here, like I say, nearly 7 years ago, and I think it's an incredibly welcoming community. It's just the right size, not too big, and you get to know people, and it feels. I like that connection. I like the fact that you can go out, people, and people are interested in what you're doing. There's a high level of collaboration. Again, you don't always get that, but I feel that, whether it's universities, other vocational training providers, schools, there's a really high level of collaboration on the Gold Coast. I think, it's hard not to enjoy the environment, the beaches, the hinterland. My love is clearly the hinterland. I love getting up there. I just think we are incredibly lucky to live in just a very beautiful part of the world. But it would be the people. I mean, I love the restaurants as well. We've got it. We're really spoiled in terms of great food on the Gold Coast. So people, the environment, and
couldn't ask for more, and the incredible weather and beaches. Like, you couldn't ask for more. We've got it all. Yeah, we're lucky. Look, it's been really, really interesting talking to you, Karen. I know I've learned a lot about what TAFE is doing here on the Gold Coast. I'm incredibly proud. I just think so I can't wait to speak to you again. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to chatting to you later on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye, Stella.
Bye. Thanks for listening today. For a complete list of podcast episodes and transcripts, go to rdagoldcoast.org.au/podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter.